Andrew Tobias, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to
Welcome
see you.
to the house. Come in, have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
We've had Emily Casper. Little Emily's got a basketball clinic. Come up, talk to her. Talk to Coach Derek Johnson, now the basketball coach up at Reedsville, former baseball coach at Smith. Full-time baseball man here, Andrew Tobias. Former football man, though, back in the days down around Auburn, down around Alabama. Now, he used to be a football man big time back in the day, right?
Yeah, in terms of training, yeah.
In Florida and all areas, you were down that way with football.
Oh, yeah, big time Gator fan.
Emily, thank you. Good luck Saturday. Sir. Thank you, Mr. Casper. Keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Andrew Tobias, Andy Casper, Andy Durham, Andy North is somewhere in the back. And
a lot of Andys, eh?
Who knew there was that many around here? Gosh, it's kind of struck it rich tonight, struck gold. Talk about what has happened here in the past couple of days. Josh Tobias just selected in round 10 of the MLB draft out of Florida. Josh just named All-American to the team yesterday. How old was Josh and Josh started playing baseball? We want to go down the road a little bit.
Memory lane, eh?
Where things came from.
Josh started at 5, and we started at Alamance Community Center, right off of Alamance Church Road and William Derry Road. And we played at the Alamance Center for a couple years there. And that's what Josh started to play ball. I think we had coaches pitch at that time. And actually, to be honest with you, my oldest son, Drew, was the kid I was grooming to be a baseball player.
Okay.
And you seen Josh when I stopped his. I thought Josh was going to be a football player, so I was trying to encourage Josh to play football.
See, right.
And I had Drew playing baseball.
Yeah.
Drew didn't like baseball.
Right.
And Josh wasn't crazy about football.
Did Drew play lacrosse?
Drew played lacrosse. Now, he picked that up later in high school. But Josh then, decided he liked baseball. Drew decided he liked football, and later got involved in lacrosse. So that's kind of how we got into the baseball. It was really unexpected for Josh. I thought he'd be a football guy, but he said he didn't like it, and he loved baseball. And so we started playing there, and didn't take long to see that this kid learns pretty fast. He picks up things pretty quick, and so started working with a little bit, not much, just working a little bit, but got a little net and did some soft talks with him, and realized that this kid could be special.
Did you put your game plan together as time went along, or did you already have your game plan about the skill development, the techniques? Did you already have that planned out, mapped out, or did you develop that as you went along with Josh?
I kind of developed as I went along. Other coaches saw him, and I listened to other people, and as I listened to people talk about, basically they were impressed with his bat speed.
Yeah, the bat speed and the bat strength. I always thought those were big things. Bat speed, bat strength. Put those two together. That's a tough combination.
It's a tough combination. He has very, very quick hands, and if I can brag, if he gets those naturally. I used to have. I thought at the time, quickest hands in the game.
Tough wrist too, I'm sure.
Tough wrist, and great barrel speed as well. Getting the barrel to the zone, and so people were impressed with that. So I listened to a lot of people, and they say this kid, might have a future in baseball. So after that time, I started, working with a little bit, developing little plans, and spending more time with him.
How did it make you feel when you heard his name, when you saw his name come up in round 10 of the draft the other day? How did that make you feel?
Oh, great.
I mean, that was like a dream come true. Had to be.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. Sorry.
One of the key words is probably culmination. A culmination.
A lot of hard work. A lot of hard work.
I know.
And a lot of sleepless nights. Tough. It was tough.
Now, the draft did they go 10 rounds on Monday? Is that how it worked?
No, Monday was first and second round.
First and second. They went brief rounds on Monday. Then you come back with the middle rounds on Tuesday.
3 through 10 on Tuesday.
And then you come back with the final rounds on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You guys felt pretty good. I bet you're glad to get that squared away on Tuesday. You had to be.
Yeah, we were. We, to be honest with you, we went a little bit later than we had expected to go, but the bottom line is that, he went and went to a good team.
You did.
Good
sure
organization.
Did. Very good organization.
So he's looking forward to becoming a Philly, and we're looking forward to. We're big Phillies fans now. So.
Oh yeah, have to be. Probably going back looking at all those Mike Schmidt history lessons from over the years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's the standard bearer, I guess, for third base over the years.
Great, one of the best there ever was.
Absolutely. Yeah. How about you think about things? Do you feel better about the round 10 selection this year than you did maybe when Josh was selected coming out of high school?
It's a different scenario. It's different, Andy, because in high school, we knew he would slide way down because we threw out a high number. at that time,
I remember you told me about that back when that happened.
yeah, Josh was really excited about going to college, and he was excited about
So
playing
you threw
baseball.
out the high number to see if anybody bite on it. They did. Hey, more power to you. But we feel like we want to go to college anyway. It's not going to affect us if we don't see the high number.
That was part of it. Another part was that if he was going to bypass college, we wanted to make sure that it was financially, he was financially set for life.
Yes,
Not
sir.
college was that important to him.
It was going to foot the bill, cover the bill. Right,
Exactly.
right.
And I'll be honest with you, the fact that he was drafted so late ended up being a blessing in disguise because he really did want to go to college.
Did he get selected by San Diego back then?
No, Washington Nationals.
Washington Nationals. Okay, gotcha.
Washington
Might have been maybe Moore got selected by San Diego. Clint Moore,
Clinton, I think, went to San Diego.
Yeah, we had so many guys. I tell you, Cincinnati drafted a lot of guys right into this past time.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird about local guys from Cincinnati. But you're saying back then the Washington Nationals.
Washington Nationals drafted him.
Yeah. Did anybody else that Phillies contacted you guys and kind of let you know in advance? We were looking at you closely. Did you have any feel any bearing on it might be the Phillies that would select Josh? Did you have a feel?
Somewhat. There were about 6 teams that were in play.
You
that we
heard
knew
about 6 teams.
We knew the Diamondbacks were very, very interested drafted. They were on the phone
They
with
were
us.
number 1 pick too. They had the top pick.
Diamondbacks, the Marlins. No, not Marlins. I'm sorry, the Mariners. The Cubs were on the phone with. And there were a couple other teams that we were on the phone with at the time. About 4 hours worth. So we knew they were interested in drafting. Some wanted to take him in the 3rd, 4th round, 5th round. And so why we went to the 10th, I don't know. But glad he went anyway.
Oh yeah, you feel good about that because he got drafted in the 10th. He got it done on Tuesday. If you'd had to come out Wednesday,
Wins would have been too painstaking.
it would have been a lot of sweating went on Wednesday. No doubt about it. Do you feel good about the options now with that 10th round selection? You feel pretty good how the negotiations and all might go? What you might be able to get as far as leverage goes about getting the contract worked out? You feel good about the future? I know the focus right now is on the College World Series.
Exactly.
Got to take care of that first. Got to take care of business out in Nebraska. But you feel good about the other part when that time comes?
Well, remember, seniors have very little leverage. Basically, if you're a senior, they could offer you a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and what are you going to say?
Right.
Yeah, you don't have any choice.
Yeah.
But we feel good. The Phillies made them a good offer, and they were interested in him. They want to keep him in the infield.
They'll make you an offer up front. They'll make you an upfront offer.
Yeah, well, when you're a senior, typically it works with senior. They don't typically like to offer seniors or draft seniors unless they know you're going to accept. And so Phillies had talked with us before. They talked with Josh, and
They're throwing a number toward you.
they're throwing a number. So we had an idea.
Right, you got an idea.
And so
Good.
when they drafted us and they called us and said, "Hey, this is what we're going to offer you," and Josh was very, very pleased with that. So
As soon as the World Series is over, he finishes up out in TD Ameritrade Stadium. Used to be the old Rosenblatt Stadium out in Nebraska.
yeah.
Once that's finished, what do you guys do then? Do you pack them up and you head to the Phillies training camp somewhere?
That's when we'll talk. As soon as that last ball is pitched, the last out is made. Hopefully we're in that game. We'll make contact then, and through our representatives, and we'll find out the specifics of signing the contract, and then decide.
Yeah, because selfishly speaking, we'd love to see Josh here by at least next year with the Lakewood Blue Claws. Let's see him in town by next year. Let's see him this year, but it may not be the case. But by next year, let's see him. We'll think about the Grasshoppers. They play Lakewood so many times. Sometimes they may play them 20 times in the same year. That's how crazy it is.
That'd be a blessing for us to see.
Yeah, I mean, Lakewood and Delmarva, and this year somewhat maybe later on Hagerstown. But boy, Lakewood and Delmarva, they play those guys so many times over the course of the year. You just see those guys repetitiously.
Yeah, but at this point in time, we have no idea. They drafted him, and they made the offer, and we were comfortable with it. And they say, listen, go enjoy the College World Series.
yeah, that's
and
good, that's good.
We'll get back together at the end of that. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Framework work, do you go out, do you get an agent for negotiations like that? Do you handle those yourself? How does that work down the road? You have to wait and see?
Well, we have an agent that, well, it's not agent now, so an advisor. And once we
Advisor,
sign,
right.
he's an agent. But
I gotcha, okay.
we have an advisor who we're working with, and they're out of New York, and it's a good group. And we'll let them head up the negotiations, because we'll be involved as well. And it won't be difficult, confusing at all. We'll get it signed and get it done. He's ready to play ball.
You've already heard the numbers anyway, so you know what you're dealing with.
And we're fine with that. He's ready to play ball. We're ready for him to play ball. He's ready to show what he can do.
That's good. Did he feel good about where he got selected in regards in comparison somewhat to where his other teammates got picked? He feel pretty good about where he went as he watched his teammates where they were going to go. You start seeing your teammates going, well, 2 of my guys are gone. 3 of my guys. And how do you feel about all that?
Well, everyone kind of has a feel for where they're going.
Sure.
We've talked to scouts, and in all honesty, he was supposed to go 3rd, 4th round. We knew there was a great chance he was going to go 3rd, 4th round. to be honest with you, some of the figures that were thrown out earlier we weren't comfortable with, and so that's probably why he slid down.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're a senior, they can throw chicken feet at you. You can say yes or no.
Juniors got more leverage.
Oh, juniors have a whole lot more leverage than
I
seniors.
got you.
So we weren't comfortable with some of the early numbers. We were, we were wanting to negotiate, and so teams don't take chances if a senior doesn't say absolutely yes.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I haven't talked to any of those other guys. Some of those guys I know were willing to sign for a broken back.
Well, you feel pretty good about Southeast Guilford's representation. You got Josh. He got selected. You got Blake Butler got picked from the past team. You had DJ Artis from this year's team. You've already got Newton involved in the pros. So Southeast has turned out some players, haven't it?
Well, Southeast ought to be proud. Coach Beasley and the Gambles have done an excellent job of funneling talent, and of course Coach Coble was involved in some of that early on, but yeah, great program Southeast.
A lot of hard work over the years. You guys did not slight anybody on the far as the hard work goes getting that job done, man. You guys, I was down the way on those Monday nights.
Sure, I was just telling folks you were.
Used to be down on Monday nights, and you'd be throwing those quick pitches to Josh. He'd be hitting the ball everywhere. You tell him start hitting it toward the right, he hit it toward the right. Next thing you know, he's directed toward the left. Then he starts hitting it everywhere. I'm trying to run all those balls. Then I learned the key to this is wait till they've all been hit and go collect the balls.
Then collect it.
Yeah, but man, I'd be running those things down. I get that glove sweaty. I come back in. Josh, can I use your glove again? Use this other glove. That's my good glove. You're already sweaty. But that was and I used to enjoy too watching the tosses between second and short, little flip. You guys worked on the flip all the time.
Yeah.
The flip was, I think Blake Butler even came by a few times back in that old day. Tiger would come by and work out some. The flip, the work you guys did in the infield, man, that was fun out there doing that. That was great. That was a good learning experience for me, seeing what goes on in those workouts.
Oh, yeah.
And those workouts, you did those on, like, say, this afternoon, you'd be doing a workout, but that usually, most times, that would be your second workout of the day. You guys already worked out that morning.
Yeah. We work out in the morning, go home, take a break, lunch break, come back, work out in the afternoon, and then it was too hot to run in the afternoon. We'd take a break, come back and do sprint work when it was cooler in the evening.
I know sometimes people would drive by Southeast, they'd be going, man, what's going on? That guy's out there killing that little kid. He's wearing that kid down. They're going, man, I thought the times had changed. This kid's out here. He's working with this man's working that kid to death. And one time I even put on the website, I put, had a good workout last night at the Andrew Tobias
Baseball Academy.
Yeah. And then the Southeast people said, let's tone that down a little bit. Remember that headline that time, right?
Oh, don't I?
Yeah.
I was just telling Mr. Williams about that.
But it's interesting, but man, you guys worked so hard. How did you keep Josh focused all those years? Because sometimes the kid's going, man, I could be at Emerald Point, or I could be home, man, there's a game on TV I'd love to watch. I love watching that one guy play third base, other guy second base, other guy shortstop for those teams. Man, it's hot out here. How do you keep him focused and driving and striving toward the task?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Sam. That's a great question. People ask me that all the time. First thing is that, number one, he loves baseball, and he wants to get better. And when you have a kid who loves baseball and wants to get better, easy to train him. Second thing is I never, ever lied to Josh about baseball. I never told him, listen, if you don't work hard or, if you don't practice hard here, you're going to lose your starting spot. I never lied to him about that. Third thing is when he was 9 years old, Andy, I told him he had already made a name for himself with the big bat and home runs. But I told him, I said, JT, if you want to get to the next level, we're going to do things like, some functional development, some functional work. And he said, what is that? And I said, well, that's where we do movements that are specific to your sport of baseball. And he said, okay. He said, what kind of things we're going to do? I said, well, we're going to do some running, maybe some sprint work, some jump rope. We'll do some push-ups, some ab work, and things of that nature. And I said, now, you want to think about a couple weeks and get back with me? And he said, no, I'll do it now.
He's ready to go.
So that was January. And actually that was out at, I'm going to give him a little plug here, Scott Bankhead Baseball Academy. We were training there. And he worked from January, February, March, April, May, and in June and July we went out to Knoxville. That was the national championship game out there. And he participated in the National Home Run Derby Championship. And that's big back there because he got to compete nationally, some of the names he had heard. You hear names all year long. And so he got a chance to see those kids and compete against them. Well, he won that Home Run Derby Championship, 10 years old, the National Home Run Derby Championship. I mean, that was big back then for a kid to win it. And when he won that, after me telling him what he needed to do to get better, I never had to
He saw the results.
He saw the results. And when you can tell a kid, listen, if you do A and B, you're going to get C, and they do A and B and they get C, you don't have to say anything else. They know what you're saying. Is right.
No manipulation. They see the work. They do the work.
Non-necessary.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's my key
You told me a
motivation.
story years ago there was a turning point where one of the travel teams, something like that, maybe happened, and at that point, Josh, no more questions, full straight ahead.
Exactly. That was it. We were on the travel team at the baseball academy, and when he won that, it was, my daddy knows what he's doing here. And so when I share things with him, listen, I think we need to do this and do that. I think we need to do that. He understands and knows that, daddy knows what he's talking about.
And that hard work paid off.
Well, it's paid off. And to be honest with you now, when he got a little bit older, one of the other things that really kept him motivated, I gave him ownership of his training. It wasn't just daddy say you do. He's like 11 or 12. So I said, look now, this is what daddy thinks, but I want to see what you want to. So I had to back off a little bit, and it was a little nerve wracking. So I wasn't sure if he was going to bite, if he was going to continue to do that, but he continued on. Matter of fact, he picked up the pace a little bit, and that's when I knew that he was going to succeed in baseball because he had the work ethic. When people pass by, they say, "Man, the dad is killing the son."
Yeah.
You ask Beasley, the truth of the matter, the son is working for dad.
Yeah, exactly. Because Josh laid out a lot of those game plans himself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
When we go back to the days down at Southeast Middle School, remember I came down there years ago and he had a game against A.J. Williams. It was Southeast Middle School versus Lincoln Middle School. That was the first time I saw Josh play. We broadcast that game, put on audio tape. I think that's in some bank somewhere, some special place that audio is. But even go back to those days, some great times even back then.
Oh, absolutely. And AJ and his dad and Josh and I are good friends. We spent a lot of time together, and I see that he's playing the adult baseball, and so I wish him the best. But yeah, with games against, I think he's playing at Lincoln then.
It was Lincoln. Yep.
Great games, and those were great times, fun times.
And Josh made the All-Star team in Senior Legion baseball, if I'm not mistaken. Made that as a freshman, ninth grader. He's on the Senior Legion All-Star team.
He was, and you may have him on that because I forget what grade he was in. But yes, he played actually as a freshman.
As a freshman, made the All-Star team that year.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, that was down with Brady Lawson and those guys down. I think it was post 45.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to give a plug for Legion. But we enjoyed Legion ball.
Legion was good for you.
It was good. It was especially good for Jock because he was a freshman, and at that time, I think they still do it. But guys who were college freshmen could come back and play Legion.
Yeah, the older players.
So he was experiencing pitching as a freshman in high school from guys who had played a year in college, and it was great. Guys were throwing 90, 95, and he was trying to handle that kind of pitching. So it was great for his development.
Another thing I wrote down, I remember a time Josh is at the plate, and he's coming out of a situation on a Sunday night, or Sunday morning going to church. Him and his sister in the car had a wreck. Had that wreck down in that intersection near Southeast. Had the accident. Josh, a little bit roughed up in some ways. He came that next game. He comes up to the plate, hits a home run, his first at bat back after that accident. Remember that?
Oh, I can't forget it. Can't forget it. I was actually getting ready to leave the house. My daughter and my wife were headed to Raleigh. My daughter had a speaking engagement there, and I get a call from a stranger lady who was down at the accident and said, "Your kids have been in an accident." And so I get down there, and both of my kids are laying down on the ground, And so that's the scariest sight for any parent. But and my daughter, who's in the accident, is over there with me now. But I was real proud of both of them. She got the brunt of the hit because the car hit her in the side. And good thing the airbags deployed. And the biggest hit that they got, other than that one, was their heads hit together. That's what we suspect because the airbags, the side bags, pushed them together. They both had, little knots on their head, and the doctor suspected it came from them hitting heads together. But anyway, they were hurt. Josh was hurt a little bit, and she was hurt. He had, some head problems a little bit. That was on a Sunday, and we kept him home for a couple of days, and he wanted to play. And I think it was Dudley we were playing.
It might have been
Tuesday or Thursday night. And he hit a home run. I remember that. So.
How about the Friday night championship game that one year? Was Josh versus Nick McBride. I think it was a 3A conference championship, maybe down at Southeast. It's either the conference championship or a first round or a second round playoff game, but it's Nick McBride versus Josh. That was a heck of a battle.
Yeah, it was. I think it might have been conference champion. I remember that. And we're real proud of him. Nick is an excellent pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
And we were just hoping Josh could keep it close. And I think they ended up winning that game either 3-1 or 3-0.
Southeast did win.
No,
yeah.
no. Ragsdale won.
Did they win?
I think Ragsdale won.
Okay, I thought maybe Southeast won that game.
But it was a good game. We were in it.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
close. And, of course, my old buddy, Deshaun Anderson, was there then, and Nick McBride. And, great battles. Those were some great battles back then.
Do you think Southeast Guilford did a good job of preparing Josh for Florida? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think so. As best they can. As high school baseball, but also Legion baseball, the training we had, travel ball especially, all of those combined help prepare him for Florida. And even with all of that now, when you go to a school like Florida, nothing can ever prepare you for the grunt and grind that you're going to face in the SEC.
That's a big jump, isn't it?
It's a big jump.
Yeah,
And,
because you mentioned the teams today in the College World Series in the SEC, it's about half the field.
Yeah, 4. LSU, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, and Texas A&M barely, got left out. TCU
What an
beat
NC
them.
State TCU game, man. Monday night, it listed 3 hours of that game out of Fort Worth, Texas. NC State had that game won 7-1, and then TCU came back and beat them in that final. They went extra innings. That was like, ooh, what a crazy game.
I saw that. I think I stopped watching in the 7th inning. I had no idea it was going to go that long.
Crazy. There was a runner got on base with a drop third strike. Another guy took third of the balk. Guy from third took the balk, went in and scored on that wild pitch. And the guy who made first base took away that second out. He's the number 2 out. The guy that would still be at second base and didn't take third because of the balk. Next man fly ball, State's out of that inning, gone. They win the game. That's how crazy this thing can be.
Yeah.
Crazy game. What does Josh have to do now to move ahead once he gets in that fielding system? What's he got to do to keep moving ahead to the next level?
Well, my encouragement to him is the same things that got him where he is now. The work ethic has to be second to none. Understand who you are. He has to believe in himself and take the same approach he took in college. I think for the first couple of weeks he was amazed at some of the ball players he was playing with, but didn't realize, I fit in. I'm one of the boys. I'm just as good as some of the guys here. And that's the same approach he has to take in majors. Is that
now he's a leader.
He's a leader. He's a leader, and he's demonstrated that in one of the best conferences, best programs in the country.
Without a doubt. And man, Florida just kept getting better this year. It's crazy. They were kind of hanging laying low.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I started watching that schedule. They keep getting better and better. Next thing you know, they win that Southeastern Conference Tournament Championship.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Josh. I started putting Josh on the website. I said, I better be careful here. I don't want to play this thing out too much. Don't want to jinx the guy. And when people think, he's putting him up, he's batting 313. I'm 313, 330, 340, 345. Next thing we're going at 370, 371, 374. Man, it's unreal. He kept growing. It was fun to track that. He kept getting better and better as the season went on.
Yeah, I kept reading it. I appreciate you, you putting that in there. And
it was fun.
I kept telling Josh, hey, Andy's wrote another article on you. But it was great. It was great. When that started, I'll put this in a plug. When that started, Josh, and I didn't know this, he had gone 5 for 5 in the game that we were playing, I think, against Stony Brook. And the game before that, where he got hit in his last at bat. So he tied a school record that day of having 5 consecutive hits. But then he also tied another school record in that same game by going 8 consecutive at-bats with the hit.
Wow, 8 straight.
Yeah, and I had no idea that those were school records. And that's kind of where you started, because after that game...
that stuff because you're going to be with that school from then on.
Exactly. So he tied 2 school records. And after that, he was hitting 420, 430, I think.
Yeah.
And, of course, part of your mind as well, he's not going to hit 400 the rest of the year. But I told him at the beginning of the year, I said, Josh, the way you finish your junior season, you're capable of hitting 400.
Yeah.
And he's been consistent. He stayed right around, 380, 390. Now he's at 373.
Here's a big question. If you guys could go back and do anything differently, would you? Or you just do it the same way you did it?
The one thing I would change, and if I went back, I guess I would, but I'm so pleased with the way they've worked out. But if I had to change one thing, I would probably allow him to switch it more in games. I should have let him do it when he was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And part of that's my fault. Coaches they loved his right-handed bat, and the fact that he was hitting home runs, and they were reluctant. Oh, please don't turn him around. And so I allowed that to happen, and I should have been more forceful. Listen, he's going to switch it whether you like it or not. And I didn't do that. And so it was later on in high school. We still practice it every day, but he really didn't start doing that in games until high school. Did it some in Legion ball. His freshman year at Florida, He and Coach O'Sullivan and I talked, and we started it in the fall. By the time the season started, he still felt a little bit more comfortable on the right side. In his junior year, Coach O'Sullivan and I'm assuming other coaches came to him and said, look, would you like to start switching again? And he said, absolutely. And I said, well, Josh, listen, let's take that as an opportunity to get better.
Exactly.
So this past summer, he stayed home, and we were out at Southeast and doing the same old thing again, getting some work in on the left side and the right side. And, of course, he started the season off. First game was a little slow. But once he got that first hit on the left side, Andy,
ready to go.
Yeah, he hadn't looked back since.
If you could go right now and tell Josh something before he goes on that game on Saturday, give him a little word of advice or anything like that, what would you tell him? Anything?
Yes, I already done it.
You already did it?
Yes. Go have fun.
Go have fun.
You deserve it. Everybody plays better when you're loose and relaxed and having fun. He knows the game of baseball. There's not a thing I can tell him now that's going to make him hit better, feel better. Go have fun, son. Enjoy. Stand on top of your head if you want to.
Got a quote from Andrew Tobias. No hits to right, no hits to left, no hits up the middle. Nothing spectacular, nothing extra special. Go have fun.
Have fun. Enjoy it.
Wow.
Enjoy it.
His best position, third base, second base, or shortstop?
If he's going to play at the next level, second base.
I thought the same thing. Closer to first, and you're more established. His height is a little bit better, maybe towards second base in some ways. He's got the strength. I thought the same thing.
Yeah. Now he's played great third base for Florida this year. Only one error and I think 131 attempts.
Man, that's great.
The error came in the next to the last game of the season.
That is something that gets you to the next level.
Yes, exactly. But with this athleticism, I think he's more geared for second base. He can use his speed a little bit more to go to the left or right.
Who would you say is the best athlete in the world today, male or female? LeBron James, Ronda Rousey, John Carlos / Mike Stanton, J.J. Watt, Russell Wilson, maybe somebody else. Who's the best athlete in the world today? You see a lot of them. You follow this stuff.
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Wow. Give me a couple names again.
I said LeBron James, who's doing quite well these days. Ronda Rousey, the female MMA fighter, they say is probably better than some men. J.J. Watt, the defensive lineman for the Houston Texans, and Russell Wilson, who can play excellent football, also very good baseball. John Carlos Stanton, who's probably a rock of Gibraltar right now for anybody.
If I had to choose one based on that, of course, I would say the best.
For anybody else you want to throw in there too.
LeBron is the best. When I say athlete, when I think of as an athlete, I think of an athlete who's able to play really more than one thing, more than one sport. Now, LeBron is the best basketball player. He'll go down as probably one of the best to play the game. But I would probably say Russell Wilson, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Baseball player, football player, able to play multiple sports. I mean, he's not quite the Deion or Bo Jackson, but I would probably give the nod to him.
How about Cleveland or Golden State tonight at Cleveland, and how many points from LeBron tonight? Another 40-plus night for him?
Probably, and I would love to see Cleveland win it. I think LeBron will score, 35 to 40. He'll probably get triple-double. But with the way momentum flows, I think Golden State will pull it out. It'll be a close game, I suspect.
Golden State pulls it out tonight?
I think they'll pull it out by 6 to 8 points in the end.
Gotcha. Well, it's been great having you in here. I know you got to get ready to
My
make that
pleasure.
trip.
My
and I'm going to go
pleasure.
with that one thing you said. I'm going to try to make that my mantra the rest of the day. Go have fun.
Have fun. Enjoy life.
Man, you're a different man. Since you go this behind you, you're a really behind you.
Yeah.
I don't hardly recognize you.
I can have fun now.
Man, this is unreal. So you feel pretty good now. Pretty
Feel
relaxed.
great.
Feel good within the old skin.
Well, for a couple of days now, but once he gets back into
Saturday,
it, I'll still work with
You're
him.
probably pretty smart. Let's take these few days in between, rest up, be relaxed, and then go back full strength Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
8 o'clock.
Won't be that early.
What time's the game?
The game is 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock,
Yes. ESPN.
Gotcha.
First game is 3, and then Florida plays at 8.
Go have some fun.
Thank you, and enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. We got Mr. Mitchell up next, Exchange Rib Shack. We had Mr. Tobias. We had Mr. Johnson. We also had young Emily Casper. Now Bruce Mitchell checks in. Bruce Mitchell, rare visit, man. How's it
Good
going?
to see you, Andy.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. I wanted to start by just saying I thought a lot of Jimmy Fulmer, your broadcast
Oh,
partner.
yeah, man.
I
That's
heard about
crazy,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, Jimmy Fulmer.
Yeah.
What about Jeff Summey?
I
Did you get my phone call yesterday?
No, I didn't, but I went down to, I found out by going to the restaurant and asking for him.
Did you go to Golden Corral?